Okay, example number 4. Now guys, I want to take you back to example number 3 for just a second. It's the same thing. Write a linear function g, given that g of 0 equals 9 and g of 3 equals negative 6. Okay, well this one says write a linear function g, given that g of negative 6 equals 16 and g of 0 equals negative 5. Now, remember, when it's written this way, what we want to do is we want to just take this and write it as a point. Okay? Negative 6 took the place of x, and 16 took the place of y. What's nice is that it comes in the xy order. All right, so I can just drop it down into the parentheses. So negative 6 and 16. All right. Now this other point, same thing. It's just 0, negative 5. So now I've just written it in a form that I'm used to seeing. All right, so I've got these 2 points. Now you'll remember from example 3, they don't want it as y equals mx plus b. They want this one as g of x equals mx plus b. Right? Because they said write a function g. Okay. Now, to write a function, I need the slope and the y-intercept. That's all I need. Okay. And again, remember, any point that has an x coordinate of 0 is the y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis because it never leaves. I'm going to draw a tiny little picture over here. If I were plotting that point, it's an x of 0, so I never leave the y-axis, right? It's still on it. And I just go up 1, 2, oh no, not for this one. I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. Okay, so that's the y-intercept of this thing. Okay, so I know that. I've already got it just by looking at the points. I know the y-intercept's negative 5. Done. Now the only other thing I have to do is find out what the slope is. And you'll remember when we talked about the formula for slope, it's y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2. Okay, it's going to let me write here in a second. Okay, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That's the formula. Okay, and again, I always put my parentheses in here so I don't mess up my signs. And like I told you guys earlier, I usually go from the right one to the left one. So I'm going to do negative 5 minus 16 and 0 minus negative 6. Now, do you see why I put it in parentheses here? Because I don't want, I'd like my pointer here. Let me have my pointer. I don't want, point. There we go. I don't want to confuse this negative with this negative. Okay? They're separate things. So now, when I simplify this, I'm going to get negative 5 minus 16 is negative 21 over 0 minus negative 6. I got to add that, right? And that's going to give me 6. Now, this doesn't come out to a pretty number, but that's okay. I just need to reduce it. 3 goes into both of them. 3 goes into negative 21, negative 7 times, and 3 goes into 6 too. And I want you to leave it like that. You don't need to change it to negative 3.5 or negative 3.5. You can, but you don't need to. All right, just leave it as that reduced fraction. And I get negative 7 over 2 as the slope. Now I just fill in. Okay, it's g of x is equal to negative 7 over 2, which is my slope, x minus 5. And that's my y-intercept. Okay? All right. Good job, guys.